What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back with another Danmachi video, and this is going to be a pretty freeform one. This actually, I'll say, this isn't even just about the video itself. This is about, or the game itself, this is more about the channel and us moving forward. Now, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room right now. Danmachi is not shutting down after the anniversary. I've seen a lot of people say that. That's not what's happening. In essence, what they're going to do is they're going to stop producing new content. That means that the incoming anniversary is the final new story that we're going to have for this game. You know, that's just a thing. That's a creative decision. The game is essentially caught up to the anime and to the Sword Art Oratoria light novels. And any other light novels that are coming out largely are based on stuff this game has brought us, which is amazing, and I'll get to that here shortly. But when it comes to content, there's really nowhere they can go except for exceed the anime and the main Danmachi story light novels, Bell's story, essentially. And if they did that, then that would kind of spoil what's coming for the anime. So from a creative standpoint, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. It does not mean the game is necessarily shutting down immediately. The bad news is I really personally don't see a way that they're going to be able to sustain more than a year of reruns. Because as you guys know, once we get to the anniversary, unless they just start rerunning anniversaries, which is, I'm going to be honest, it'll get old pretty quick. So basically by this time next year, I do completely foresee a sunset of the game. Personal opinion, maybe I'll be shocked, maybe I'll be wrong. We'll have to see how that plays out. Now, here's the good news, and part of the reason why I'm running this team. This team is just fun to run. So in essence, what we've been told, the information that we have going forward is that the development team is not necessarily done with unit production. That means that as we get reruns, there's a high likelihood that we could get some rebalances and maybe even some new units, maybe even some Hero Festas. Because remember, there's only a handful of these guys in the game. I mean, how many Hero Festas really are there? Let's find out here. So if we go back out here and we go to the album, we can find out real fast. So in essence, there's a high likelihood that there's a lot coming to the game that we're only looking at the horizon. We don't see what's beyond that. So maybe while Amori is stepping away from content creation and the game itself is kind of going to go into a state of suspended animation, that doesn't mean, number one, the game could come back. And we've talked about this. So let's grab Hero Festas here and search. So how many Hero Festas do we have in total? 6. And we never even got Assist Festas, which is something they teased. We already know that there's development in here for Assist Festas. So at some point, we could get some brand new units that are Hero Festas. And I kind of have already stated that I suspect it's going to happen during the anniversary. I see no reason whatsoever for them to do time-limited units for this anniversary. It just doesn't make sense. Drop Hero Festas and really hype this anniversary. Make it something that we've never seen before and really exciting for, you know, new players, returning players, and all that. Keep the interest going. And that's the other thing. If you're new to the game, there's a lot you've missed. And I mean a ton you've missed, especially non-canon stories, side stories, things like that, character stories you probably have never seen or even thought you'd see. We've had a hero Hestia in the game, which completely defies logic. We've seen all kinds of really cool stuff. So they could rerun all of that, give us new units, and, you know, just have a genuinely fun time with it. So don't think this is the end. Now, as far as the channel goes, here's what I'm going to do. And I've seen other people do this. A lot of other people have uploaded the stories from the game. But, you know, I have yet to see a complete... I've seen some pretty close ones, but I've yet to see a complete repository of all the in-game stories. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. I've been really bad about getting stories out just because, you know, we cover 3 games and I've got a life outside of this, and I've got 3 other YouTube channels. So I've been really, really bad about it. But this is me stepping up and saying it's time to get better. So today we're going to drop the continuation of the Knossos War. We're going to drop that this evening. Maybe fairly late this evening because I am at convention today. But we'll drop the continuation of Knossos War. And we're going to basically finish Knossos War, do some more stuff, and that's essentially going to get us ready. Knossos War leads us into the... And that's another really valid point, guys. If you want to see these stories, let's go over here. And we go to Settings. You go to Story Digest. Every story is in here. You got main stories, event stories, growth stories, all of that. So, like, Knossos War is still here. Right here. It never went away. You could go all the way down here to some of the... I often get asked to cover the Attack on Titan crossover. If we get on far enough, look at this. April Fool's stories are here. The original Eyes War story. That was super fun. So we could cover all of that. These are super fun things that we could do on the channel. Where is... I know it's pretty close to down here. So there's the Argonaut story. We definitely need to cover that. Here's the original... these are the original... the Chibi stories. The April Fool stories. You know, the stories from the movie. So all kinds of cool stuff here. I think I already passed it, didn't I? Probably scanned right by it. Doesn't really matter. So everything is in here. You have so much. Here's some stuff that before we even got a US version of the game. When we got this was a rerun. We have stuff that's that old. So even the original Grand Day event, the first anniversary event, we've gotten, we could touch, and we never even really talked about on this channel because at the time I was kind of loosely covering this. So what we've got essentially is I'm going to turn this channel into a repository of all the best, if not all of, these stories that I can muster before the game sunsets. And I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be fun to have a permanent archive, not just on YouTube, but this is going to go on a permanent hard drive that I'm going to keep at home. And at any point in time, say whatever, for whatever reason YouTube closes my channel or whatever, we can put it on another website. It'll be out there. All these stories will be somewhere, there's Grand Day, will be somewhere online where we can touch it and we can watch it and we can experience it. Because understand, when this game sunsets, things like Grand Day, they're gone. That Hero Hestia story, they're gone. A lot of these non-canon stories, they're gone. But we will be able to keep them here. Now, I'm going to throw my little 2 cents on it. I'm going to go ahead and just do my little reaction to it, but I'm going to try not to interfere with the story too much, kind of like I generally have done, just because I think, you know, the story should shine, not necessarily me being a weirdo. But largely, I think that would be super cool. I think that's going to be a great way to basically enjoy the last, I guess, the final act of the game. Like, we are in the final act. We are in Act 5. And we're reaching the climax. Say the anniversary is the climax. The entire final act is going to be us enjoying and reminiscing about this beautiful game that we have now enjoyed for 5+ years. 6 years if you're in Japan. I think that's a great way to honor the game, to celebrate the game. A lot of you guys have asked questions, and ask questions down below if you have any real questions or concerns about how all this is going to work. A lot of people have asked the monetary question. I'll cover that in a video tomorrow. But for now, this is our future. We're not done. We're still live streaming. We still have the anniversary. Any of these events that you want to cover and you want to talk about, we can do discussions on it. There's still so much more we could do with Danmachi Memoria Freeze. Plus, we have the new Danmachi game that's dropping here in a couple of months. So the road is not ending. We have so many places to go, and even after the game has sunset, with this permanently on the channel, we could talk about these things forever, for all it really matters. So don't go anywhere. We are absolutely not done with Danmachi Memoria Freeze. And if I have my say, we'll never be done with it. That's my promise to you guys. I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that this is something that even Danmachi fans who picked this franchise up in 5 years can look back and say, oh man, I missed that game. That game was phenomenal. I wish it was around today. That is my goal with this channel, and that is kind of my promise to you guys. So, like, comment, share, join the Discord. Be part of this. It's going to be a blast. We're still going to cover the other games. We're still going to cover Konosuba. We're going to cover Dokkan Battle. I've been really bad about it this week because this has been my primary focus. But we're going back. We're going to cover more of those things. But a lot of people have been worried about this, and I want to make sure that everybody understands this is not over. There will be more, and we will not let this fade into the sunset without a glorious, glorious send-off. Like, comment, share. Definitely share this out to any Danmachi fan you know, and I'll see you guys really soon for more Danmachi Memoria Freeze. May it stay forever on the internet, regardless of when they shut down the servers.